Hello, my friends, it's Dani, and can you believe that we are in week 9 of the 10-week intuitive eating series? We are truly in the home stretch. So this week we're going to be chatting all about exercise and how to think about exercise and approach exercise in a way that actually makes you eager to move your body, right? How can you think about exercise in a way that will help you to enjoy it? Now, if you are just tuning in, there has been 8 weeks before this. We cover all the principles in the intuitive eating book. So there's 10 principles, and we're gonna go through each one in this series. If you are so interested, I will link to all of the different videos down in the description box below, so you can go back and watch them and see how they all play off one another. And please, if you do know anybody who's trying to find a way to create a healthy relationship with food and body and wants to find some peace and freedom in those two arenas, please do share this series with them so we can help to spread the good word. I think that the biggest obstacle that stands between somebody who enjoys exercise and somebody who dreads exercise is truly the way we think about it, right? If you view exercise as a tool to help you lose weight or as a tool to burn calories, it really makes it a lot less desirable to do any kind of exercise because it becomes like a transactional relationship, right? Like I will exercise in return for something rather than I'm going to exercise simply because it feels good. When you approach exercise with the intention of moving your body because your body wants to move and because moving your body feels good and it's fun, it becomes a lot more enjoyable to think of different ways that you can do that, right? Which makes exercise a lot more desirable to do. When we are solely focused on trying to attain an unattainable aesthetic rather than really just enjoying the simple intrinsic pleasure of movement, we are going to set ourselves up for failure. If your primary driver to exercise is weight loss or to change how your body looks, it really makes exercise not very appealing because number one, we don't get that payoff very quickly, right? Because if you are trying to change your body via the tool of exercise, that is something that happens slowly over time with being consistent with your movement, right? But I mean, I can remember years when I would, gather up the motivation to say, I'm gonna start going to the gym in the morning, and I'd go for 2 weeks and I would take the sculpting class. And if, after 14 days, my body wasn't looking like the instructors, in my mind, I was like, what is the point, right? Not even focusing on the fact that I was feeling better and I had more energy and I just felt better overall because we get so single-minded on the idea that exercise is supposed to make our bodies look a certain way, right? But when we get out of our heads with all of that craziness and we really reconnect to the pure pleasure of how good it feels to move the body, you get to start to have a little more fun with it. I mean, if you think about it, exercise really offers us so much more that goes well beyond just aesthetics, right? It boosts our energy levels, it helps to alleviate stress, it enhances the mind-body connection, and it's also a great source of pleasure and fun. And if you happen to be a busy mom like myself, it's also a great way to buy a little bit of me time, right? If you just take some time to go for a walk or to go to the gym, not only does it make your body feel good, but it gives you a little bit of mental sanity as well. So how can we begin to shift a negative relationship with exercise and potentially begin to fall back in love with it? So I think step one is to forget all of the ideas that you currently hold in your mind about what exercise is supposed to look like, what you should be doing for exercise, what all the magazines tell us we should be doing for exercise, and really ask yourself, what sounds good to you? How would you love to move your body? What sounds like it would be a lot of fun? Or what type of exercise maybe did you do in the past that you really enjoyed? A lot of times we actually know what we would like to do, or we know things that sound fun or that we've enjoyed in the past, but we've created some obstacles for ourselves or some mental boundaries between actually doing them, right? So I want to encourage you to grab a pen, pull out that journal, and make a list for yourself. I like to call this list the I know I can't, but if I could list, right? This is a great little trick to work around the obstacles that we create in our brain, right? So you don't need to do anything, you don't need to know how to do anything, but if you could do something that sounded fabulous, list some of the things that come to mind, If it's 2, 3, 4, 5 things, just go ahead and write them all out, as many as you can think of. And remember, this can be as simple as going for a walk, or doing some work in your garden, or going for a bike ride, or maybe you want to be a little more adventurous and take that surfing lesson that's been on your brain, or something my daughter and I did recently, we took trapeze lessons, which was super fun. But my point is, this doesn't have to be, running intervals on the treadmill, unless of course running intervals on the treadmill sounds really good to you. Then once you have your list, I want you to go back to the top of the list and then write down what stops you from doing it, right? Like, what's the mental obstacle? What is the barrier that keeps you from moving your body in a way that sounds really fun to you, that sounds appealing, and you think that you would actually enjoy? Then, once you've got all your activities written down and all of the obstacles written down, I want you to go back to the top of the page and write a solution for each obstacle, right? I want you to see that a lot of the obstacles that we have, we create in our mind. And I want us to move through them because you deserve to be moving your body in a way that feels really good to you. And not because you want to lose weight, and not because you want a flat belly, and not because you ate ice cream yesterday, but because moving your body feels good. And we want to get you back into that place of doing things that feel good simply because they feel good. Now, on the flip side, if you fall into another category as someone who is exercising all the time and you feel guilty if you miss a day or you're afraid to take a day off, then I want to remind you of the same base principle here, which is exercise is supposed to be a tool to help you feel good. So if you are exercising past the point of feeling good, then you want to give yourself permission to take a break or maybe just back it up for a little bit. Some common signs that you might find if you are over-exercised include you feel guilty if you skip a day, you amp up your exercise if you feel like you ate too much food, you might pass on a social activity because you didn't get your workout in yet, you feel anxious if you miss a workout, or you find that you need to continue to work out longer and longer and longer to feel good about your workout. All of these things can be a sign that you are over-exercising. And if you feel you fall into this category, then what I encourage you to do is take a step back and reevaluate your intention with exercising. I can't reiterate enough how exercising, the whole point of moving our bodies is to feel good, right? So when we start getting caught in the slump of not doing anything and that doesn't feel good, or overdoing something and that doesn't feel good, then we're just getting off track. We just want to get back to that healthy place where we're moving our body and we are enjoying what we're doing, right? We want to get back to that place where it feels good. So one really fun type of activity could be to date different types of exercise. Maybe try a Pilates class, try a yoga class, try an aerial class. Like, experiment with lots of different types of movement and see, hey, what feels good? Maybe you want a dance class, maybe you want to lift weights. Whatever it is, try dating different types of exercise and see which one do you really enjoy. And if any of this feels overwhelming to you, remember, at the very base, the goal is to sit less. So if you just want to start there, right? If you sit at a desk all day or you find yourself to have a rather sedentary lifestyle, just start with finding some creative ways to get up and move your body. I always wear a Fitbit. I'm a big fan. They say to get a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. And I think it's really fun to wear the Fitbit because it just makes me conscious to think, oh wow, I'm only at 5,000 steps. Let me go take the dog for another walk, or let me park far away in the parking lot. It really is all of the little things that add up, and consistency is always going to be key, right? So doing small things consistently over a period of time is always going to reap the biggest changes at the end of the day. So now I want to hear from you. What is your relationship with exercise like? What is something new that maybe you would want to try? I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences and your ideas down in the comments below. So come on down and let's chat. And as always, if you know anybody who could benefit from this series, please go ahead and share it with them. We have one more week left. Next week, we will be chatting about gentle nutrition. So we're really going to come to a full circle moment for the last week, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Dani Spies, and I'll see you back here next week with some more food for thought. Cheers.